Another thing you need to know when it comes to footwork is how to pivot, how to change the angle. For this, it's really good to use either a kind of a cross. This I made out of tape, but you can find anything that looks like a cross on the floor, or you can use a cone. So you need some kind of marker when you practice your pivots, because what we want to learn is how to pivot around an opponent, so that's going to be the cone or the cross, and not around ourselves. You'll see what I mean in a second. So I can pivot either clockwise, that way, or I can pivot counterclockwise, or to my left. I call it pivot right because that's my right side, so that would be clockwise, or pivot left because that's my left side, that would be counterclockwise. So when I use a cross, my left foot is always at the left bottom square, here. So let's say I want to pivot clockwise. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take a step with my left foot in that left square opposite, here, in this square. So from here, I go here. But instead of just stepping, I'm going to step and I'm going to face my foot in the direction that I want it to face. So instead of stepping here and then doing a full pivot there, I can just step and point my foot in that direction, saving the energy, right? So as I step, I point my foot in the direction I want to change, and then I pivot my body, I move my right leg, and then I'm facing where I want to face. I'm going to repeat this. So, step already in a pivoted position. So your foot is facing that way, and from here you're pivoting on the left foot, bringing the right foot in, only as far that your hips are facing that direction. So I don't want to over pivot, don't want to go too far. So after I step, I don't want to go all the way there, right? My opponent is there. This is where I want to face, right here. This is my opponent, the middle of the cross. Or this is my opponent, the cone. When I'm here, I'm facing him directly. When I do my pivot, I'm facing him again directly. So what happens if I don't take that first step? I will pivot around my left foot again, I will turn, and now I'm facing there, but my opponent is here. So this is what I meant. We pivot around the opponent and not just around ourselves. Because what's the point? I want to move around the opponent. So that's why I need to step first. Always step and then pivot. So I step with my left foot, turn it that way already, and then pivot, and now I face where I want to face. So let's say I want to pivot to my left or counterclockwise. So I will need to step with my right foot first. And I will be stepping, again, diagonally to my right, forward. So I don't want to step away from my opponent. I want to keep the same distance as I am now. So I will step diagonally to my right, forward, and then I pivot on that right foot. So I pivot on the right foot, I adjust the left foot, so it comes again in that bottom left square, where it's always supposed to be, and then I'm here, facing my opponent. One more time, I step diagonally to the right, I pivot on the right foot, I adjust my left leg, and I'm facing where I want to face. So let's recap. Pivoting to the right, step with the left foot, turn it, and then turn. Hips facing in that direction. Or pivot to the left, right foot steps first, bam, diagonally, and then I adjust and pivot on the right foot, and again I'm facing, I did a 90-degree turn.